All right, we've got an update out of the West region in Albany, New York, where the St. Mary Gales take care of the VCU Rams 63-51. They cover the 4.5 point spread, and that low total of 124 cashes for under bettors, as this one was tied at the half, but Randy Bennett's crew takes care of business in the second half to win with margin. Here is Coach Bennett after the game with A.J. Ross.
Randy Bennett, a very different second half with your scoring efficiency. Mitchell Saxon, amazing day for him. Talk about the patience and poise of this team to turn things around.
Yeah, I thought second half we were better defensively. We did a good job on defensive. We did a good job on Ace Baldwin, who hurt us the first half. And then we did a better job of getting the ball inside to Mitchell inside. He did a good job there. And I thought we were better on the defensive end, and then we got some points out of our posts.
Yeah, you're being modest with your defense. Fifth best scoring defense in D1. Forced 14 turnovers. How much did those turnovers create some offense for you guys?
I think they just were stops for the most part. We might have got a bucket or two out of them, but I think the continuous getting stops on them kind of, it hurt. It broke them down a little bit.
Well, on to the second round.
Yes.
I know that sounds great. Why should people not underestimate the St. Mary's team?
Because we're pretty good defensively. That's why.
All right. Well said. Congratulations.
All right, AJ.
And let's head now to MVP Arena, where Matt Norlander joins us here on CBS Sports HQ. So we heard from Coach Bennett there. Matt, what was that difference in the second half with them beating VCU today?
Well, it wasn't the only thing, but I have to mention that Ace Baldwin Jr. did go down. I mean, when he went down, I immediately thought that he was down for good, but super tough player, went back into the locker room, came back, gave it a go. But it was a key moment in the second half that I thought was pretty significant. But with what Bennett said there afterward with A.J. Ross is also accurate. The defense got turned up, and there were about 4 or 5 possessions where Mitchell Saxon was just a beast, an ox in the paint. That was key. And I'll tell you what, there's a good sign for St. Mary's in all of this. One, it didn't shoot that well, but it is a defensive first team. Aiden Mahaney didn't even score a point. He's the star freshman. Now, Logan Johnson had 12 points, 10 rebounds. He's a guard, and he had a double-double. That's a really good sign. But they didn't even get a good game out of their freshmen. So we'll see whether or not the Gales are going to face UConn or Iona, but maybe he just got the bad game out of his system as a newbie there. St. Mary's is rugged, tough, physical. And this was a really impressive performance by a team searching for its first Sweet 16 run since 2010. Needs one more victory in 2 days in order to pull that off.
I got a follow-up before I let you go. A couple of things here, right? Some were fading St. Mary's in part because VCU is a good team. Also, people love that 12-5 scenario, Matt. But I have to talk about the Gales, which the metrics loved Randy Bennett's team this year. But opinion in the public court of opinion didn't always match that. Why was that the case? And what do you think about them potentially here moving forward?
You know, a part of why that's the case is the conference St. Mary's plays in, the WCC. You know, second fiddle to Gonzaga. Isn't on national television a ton. Doesn't have, you know, a surefire first-round NBA pick kind of player in the eyes of folks right now. That's part of why that's the case, Tommy. But the metrics have been fascinating on this team all season. St. Mary's has rated, it's floated depending on the week you've looked, but it's been anywhere from 7th to 12th or 13th in the 3 or 4 most referenced predictive mainstream metrics in college basketball, and it's hard for people to square that. I know this. I talked to Mark Few a few weeks ago. He said, I've never faced a more bruising, tougher St. Mary's team than this one. Mark Few knows what he's talking about. He's faced this program for more than 20 years. Keep that in mind. And 2, they have the size, and they just have the defensive discipline to beat, no matter if it's UConn or Iona. Not guaranteeing a win, but they can certainly do that. This team is really, really good. This is why we talked about the West being so stacked. It's not just Kansas on the 1, UCLA on the 2, Gonzaga on the 3, UConn on the 4. St. Mary's on the 5 line is rated as one of the top 11 teams in the country in KenPom going into this tournament. And now you can see here it has been able to get a win for the past 5, but has not broken through to the second weekend since 2010. It's got a healthy shot to do that when it plays again and tips off Sunday here in Albany.
All right, chance for Randy Bennett to continue. Been there a long time in Moraga, California. They traveled a long way to play their first now 2 games of the tournament. Our thanks to Matt Norlander. Check him out on the Eye on College Basketball podcast with Gary Parrish. And Kyle Boone was on the podcast with Instant Reaction with GP doing some work in studio out in New York. Make sure to scan that QR code. Of course, it is their time of the year. The guys will have a breakdown of every game tonight, just like they had a breakdown of every game yesterday, which was Thursday.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.